Scarborough-Guildwood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for the opportunity to enter into this debate in the reply to the speech from the throne. But before I do so, I just want to not only express my gratitude to being able to do this, but to congratulate you on your election. I think you will make a very honorable speaker, and I appreciate it. I particularly appreciate it a lot more if, in fact, you don't cut me off in the middle of sentences. I also want to express my appreciation to people of Scarborough-Guildwood who have returned me to this chamber for the 8th time. I have to say, Mr. Speaker, that when I started in 1997, I did not anticipate that I would be here for 8 successive elections, but it has been an interesting journey for the last 22 years. And the other thing that was very encouraging is that the percentage of the vote went up in this particular to the highest level that I've actually achieved in 8 years. As you know, Mr. Speaker, elections are strange enterprises at times. A lot of non-substantive things and occasionally some substantive things. I don't anticipate that. I don't want to dwell on the non-substantive things, but today I want to take the opportunity to spend some time reflecting on what I consider the most substantive issue that affected Scarborough-Guildwood during this particular election, and that is the Canada Child Benefit. The Canada Child Benefit, Mr. Speaker, is, in my judgment, the signature initiative of this Prime Minister. I think that once he leaves and history is written about these parliaments, that will be one of the things that historians comment on, namely the significance of the Canada Child Benefit and its significance to people, all of the people of Canada, but particularly low-income people in Canada. And, Mr. Speaker, it is a very large initiative. If you go to Table 3.3 in the 2019 budget at page 289, you'll find that on the top lines, the amount of money that is returned to Canadians, that is sent to Canadians as benefits. So there's revenues from taxes that come in, and then the first line, the first set of lines is the amount of benefits that go back to Canadians. And the first line in that set of lines is the $56 billion that goes to elderly benefits. The second line is about $20 billion that is returned to Canadians in the form of unemployment insurance. And the third line is the $24 billion that goes to the Canada Child Benefit. Now, Mr. Speaker, that is the second most significant benefit that goes directly to Canadians from their federal government. And so it's reasonable, Mr. Speaker, to ask yourself, what are we in effect getting value for money? And this is of particular interest to me as the Member of Parliament for the riding of Scarborough-Guildwood. So when we break that $24 billion down, what does that mean to the riding of Scarborough-Guildwood? And what that means, Mr. Speaker, to the riding of Scarborough-Guildwood is that each and every year $100 million comes into the riding of Scarborough-Guildwood. Now that's a significant sum of money for a riding that has possibly, 115,000 to 120,000 people in it. We have the Centennial College, which would contribute to the riding at somewhat similar amount of money, I should imagine, or more. University of Toronto Scarborough campus, similar or significant amount of money. The Scarborough hospitals, again, huge budgets. Toyota, again, huge amount of money goes into the riding. But and I'm sure there are other industries that actually contribute this kind of significant amount of money into the riding.